Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and today we have my review of 21 Bridges, which I believe came out in 2019 and starred Chadwick Boseman. And this video will contain spoilers for the movie, so there's your warning. When I first saw the trailers for this film, it was in cinemas for Dr. Sleep actually. The Russo brothers' names were all over it, and whenever I'd see posters after that, their names were also over it, and I thought it was directed by them. But turns out that they were just producers. The film was directed by Brian Kirk, who I believe worked on Game of Thrones, which I haven't seen, and honestly don't know if I'll ever see, but yeah. Honestly though, I still had a pretty good time with this film. It's not perfect, but I had a lot of fun with it nonetheless. So right off the bat, all the acting is absolutely great. Chadwick Boseman does a really good job, as I think he always does, and as well as J.K. Simmons, who I forgot was in here. It was a nice surprise to see him. And the very few scenes of comedy in this film, J.K. Simmons provided a fair bit of funny lines. In the first act, we learn a lot about Andre, who is Chadwick Boseman's character. Without much exposition, it's done very visually, and we get into the plot without much talking as well, and I think that's really well done. I think that's a real testament to the filmmakers here, because in a lot of films we are just thrown with exposition, which you need exposition in films, but I think this is done really well here. And while we do get exposition in this film, of course, I think it's really well done and really great that they managed to give us so much information just visually. Something this film does really well as well was that constantly making me feel like this is an urgent situation. Even when we were having the down moments, it still feels like something constant is going on, and that, okay, we gotta catch these criminals, we gotta lock down the city, and everything like that. There is a subplot in this film about corrupt cops, and I mean, it's fine. It doesn't add or take away from the film for me. I mean, I guess, to be fair, it added something else to be interested in throughout the movie, which was nice besides the main plot. But it ended up being the same thing we've seen multiple times, but it also made sense for stuff the cops did earlier in the film, and whilst unnecessary, and maybe it was just to increase runtime, I didn't hate it at all. The action and chase scenes are a lot of fun too, but sadly now we have to get into the negatives, and there is a fair few here. My biggest flaw is probably that this film tries to be realistic, which is fine on its own, but I don't know if I'd buy the fact they locked down the whole city for these two people. Like, I get they killed 7 cops, and yeah, I understand that, but I just don't know if I buy they'd shut down the whole city just to catch these 2 guys. I think maybe if we'd had them commit a worse crime, or maybe give us some more backstory to these 2 criminals to make them seem worse, maybe they have a history of this kind of thing. I'm sorry I look really pale, the sun is doing its own thing outside. Speaking of the antagonists though, we don't know why they're trying to vanish. Like, we know they're stealing the cocaine to sell it and to vanish with that money, but why? As I said before, I don't dislike the twist with the corrupt cops, but it kind of feels like there wasn't much point in it. It feels like it was just to increase runtime, and that the film wouldn't have changed without it. I'm really mixed on that point, but I don't think it's much of a big deal for me. There is one scene where Andre is getting answers out with this woman about the 2 criminals, and it was just like an exposition dump from her. And as I said, we needed it. We need exposition in all films, but it just felt very much thrown at the film because they didn't know how else to give us the information. There are also multiple really convenient moments. Like, there's one scene where Andre is coming up the stairs, and it just so happens a civilian walks in his way, and he's the one who ends up getting shot, so Andre can shoot the criminal. There are multiple scenes similar to that. Overall though, I enjoy this film, and it's really not that great, and it was a bit disappointing in all honesty, but it's still decent, and I'm still going to try and buy the Blu-ray, and it's a lot of fun, and I would recommend it. I give 21 Bridges a 6 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of 21 Bridges in the comment section below, whether you agree or disagree with my opinion, but please be respectful about it. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.